I was so excited for this NFL season, man. I'm pumped, and this just gets me even more hyped, even more excited. I cannot wait to see this, man. This is going to be thrilling. This is going to be exciting. This is going to be everything I want when I turn on NFL football on Sundays. As the NFL returns social justice helmet decals and end zone stencils. Let's go. Let's end racism. God, they just don't get it. These sports leagues, these professional sports leagues and NCAA sports leagues, they just don't get it. Nobody wants to see this. When you put end racism on the back of your helmet, it's not going to end racism. When you say their stories, they are stories that people do not want to hear, all right? I do not want to hear the story of a black person that died from a cop or a black person that died in gang violence. I don't care. I want to see Tom Brady throw touchdowns, all right? I want to see Adrian Peterson run into the end zone, all right? I want to see people catch touchdowns. I want to see big hits, and I want to see big tackles, and I want to see 50-yard runs, and I want to see football, all right? I want to see sports. I want to see the best American sport. This is ridiculous. NFL players can wear social justice messages on their helmets again this season, and it takes all of us, and end racism will be stenciled in end zones for the second straight year as part of the league's Inspire Change platform. Yes, Inspire Change. The change they are inspiring is the change where less people view their leagues, the change where they lose viewership, because people are turned off by this, whether you believe it or not. Let's continue. And by the way, this is from the AP News. We are committed to inspire change in the social justice work that inspires change for the long term. Anna Isaacson, NFL Senior Vice President of Social Responsibility. What the fuck is a Senior NFL Vice President of Social Responsibility? What type of job title is that? I would love that title because that's a fake job. That job doesn't exist. NFL Senior Vice President of Social Responsibility. So you're not even the president of social responsibility. You're just the VP of social responsibility. There's so much fucking social justice, social responsibility, social SJW. I can't even keep my fucking words straight. What? Does anyone else see how ridiculous this is? The NFL Senior Vice President of Social Responsibility. So basically the NFL George Floyd worker. Basically the NFL political worker. Pretty much. Basically the NFL race baiting worker. Because that's what it is. The NFL person that was hired to talk about BLM, Black Lives Matter. Let's continue. The 6 messages players can choose from as part of the helmet decal program are: end racism, stop hate, it takes all of us, Black Lives Matter, inspire change, and say their stories. Alright, so end racism. That's not going to end racism. Stop hate. How about you stop hating fucking Trump supporters, alright? Because we know that's what they do. It takes all of us. Yeah, it takes all of us to turn off the TV and stop watching this woke shit. Black Lives Matter. Inspire change. Say their stories. Man, you can support this stuff, and I do not have an issue with it. I really do not have an issue if you support this stuff. But this stuff does not belong in football, alright? Putting in racism on the end zone in the back of the helmets, breaking news, it's not going to end racism. In fact, it's just going to get more people to talk about it. And if we're being honest, and if you want my opinion, I'm going to do what Morgan Freeman said. The best way to stop and truly end racism is just to stop talking about it. When you don't talk about it, people don't focus on it. Notice how, alright, this is getting off topic. Notice how you didn't hear all this stuff in 2015, and 2014, and 2013, just a matter of years ago, maybe even 2016. When Peyton Manning was playing, let's just think about the Patriots-Seahawks Super Bowl, alright, 2014. Would you see Black Lives Matter at that game? Would you see It Takes All of Us? Would you see social justice, stop hate, end racism? Would there be a NFL Senior Vice President of Social Justice Responsibility just a couple of years ago? No, because it's all a part of the narrative. It's all a part of the media's narrative. It's all a part of the NFL's narrative. They're trying to appeal to this woke crowd, this BLM, LGBT crowd that they do watch. There is a crowd of those people. But in all reality, it makes up like anywhere from 1 to 5%, just a fraction of the audience. Nobody wants to see this. This year's Say Their Stories will feature, this year's Say Their Stories features will again be voiced by NFL players, but will evolve to include social justice heroes who have been personally identified by players for their impact in this area. Social justice heroes. We look up to the wrong people today in America. The people who are really heroes are the people who stand up for their beliefs. The people who are real heroes are fighting the fake media. The people who are real heroes are going against the mainstream media. Because it's just true. Social justice activists are not heroes. Professional athletes are not heroes. All right, besides maybe like Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant, some people who are really inspirational. All right, your favorite Fox News host, your favorite CNN host, your favorite MSNBC host, your favorite TV actor are not heroes. They do not live in reality. Reality is what us everyday Americans see. Reality is when we see a sports league that we loved for years get ruined by Black Lives Matter, get ruined by social justice. That is the reality that I live in. That is the reality that people who are subscribed to me live in. That is the reality that Americans are living in. Nobody wants this. When you go woke, you go broke. This is ridiculous. We thought it was ridiculous last year. And I just made a video a couple minutes ago, and a question I asked in that video about Bob Boone, Washington Nationals VP stepping down is, when does it end? Where does it end? When does it stop? And my answer to that is it doesn't. That's why I'm making these YouTube videos. That's why I want to get my voice out there. Because if nobody stands up to this BS, if nobody stands up to this wokeness, it won't stop. It really won't. All right. Because if nobody's going to stand up and voice their opinions against it, and if nobody's going to say how this is wrong, because contrary to what many people believe, I do think this is wrong. I think this is bad for sports. I think this is bad for media. I think this is bad for everything. This is bad for the players. It's going to cost them money in the future, because it is extremely simple. When you go woke, you go broke. There is absolutely no ifs, ands, or buts, no other ways around it. When you put Black Lives Matter, when you put end racism on the field, on your helmet, you've automatically lost half the audience. Nobody wants to see this. It is just that simple. And in the great words, or not the great words, in the words of the great 45th President of the United States, I'm stuttering everywhere, but in the words of the great number 45, everything woke goes to shit. And it's true, and we will continue to see it this season in the NFL.